I think it was a pivot over to something I had read about a player asking for. Okay, so you know top player privilege, right? So top player privilege is this funny thing where people want certain perks from being top players. People want, I don't know, round 1 buys, round 2 buys. They want to be able to wake up super late. They want like a VIP lounge and a bunch of extra setups lying around just for them for being top players, right? That's top player privilege. I saw a tweet about a Smash player asking for low level player privilege. He asked to be seated literally bottom of the bracket. I wish I could find the tweet. It literally, like, that is the bracket fixing that I am down for. He was like, look, tournament, I got some friends who want to come through, but they're not entirely sure if they want to. I can drag them along if you make me bottom seed in every game I play because I suck. I can give you my results. And he was 1 in 24 in tournament sets in Smash Ultimate. And he was also playing Guilty Gear. He's like, I've never played the game online. I play against the computer and sometimes I win. I've never played Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but I know Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but I know I'm putting Spider-Man on my team, right? Like shit like that. These were like his arguments. And he said, I want to be lowest seed in every game I play so that I can rewatch my VODs and learn. Also, so that I can play against the best players in the room as early as possible on stream. And he said that he would be able to drag along 4 to 5 friends. Now, I don't know if maybe you guys forgot because of COVID how much it is to enter a tournament, right? It's like 70 to 80 bucks. So another 6 people, that's money. Another 300 bucks, 400 bucks, right? So 300-400 bucks in your pocket for literally telling someone who knows they're bad, hey, just go ahead and lose to these pros. What he was saying is, hey, someone else, some other Joe Schmo is gonna lose to these players. Instead of those Joe Schmoes losing to these players, I have a proposition. I will bring more people into the door if you let me, the Joe Schmo, lose to those people. And I think that's like phenomenal, like, what's the word I'm looking for here? That's a phenomenal way to get what you want as like a low level player. Because when you think about it, the vast majority of people who enter tournaments have no aspirations of making top 8. They have no skill to make top 8. And they're just there to vibe, hang out with their friends, play a few dope sets, and then watch the rest of the event. This man literally probably wants to do that and wants to go with his friends who are on the fence about going, but now they'll go so they can root for him, fight against the best players in the room. We know he's not going to win, but he's there and he gets to do that. And that's pretty sick. I think the tournament actually said yes. They put him as bottom seed in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I don't know if he got bottom seed for Strive as well. I don't know. Maybe being able to beat the normal CPU sometimes was too much information. Maybe. But that's super wholesome. That's actually the most like wholesome story I've read on Twitter in a while. Twitter is like a cesspool of garbage. But he was asking for the best like bracket fixing I've ever heard of. Fuck top player privilege. Give people low level player privilege. They make up the most of the money in the FGC. If it weren't for people who know that they suck and will not win, there would not be events. If only the killers entered every event, like the top 25 players in the world, there would not be enough money to sustain the big events that we have. At least the offline ones, right? It would be impossible. So those Joe Schmoes that make up the other, like, let's say it's 25. I don't know. Let's look at a bracket of Evo for Tekken. A few years ago, Tekken 7 had like 1,800 players, right? Maybe 50 of those could win the event. Maybe, right? Let's be real. Maybe 50, maybe 100. That means there's 1,700 to 1,750 players in the room who paid for their Evo tournament place for the purpose of just playing some games, having fun, and watching the event. That's magical. That's why when top players were saying, oh, we'll just double the entry fee, dude. What the fuck? Like, top players aren't... I think it was like a Melee thing happened. And first place was the only one who made significant money. It was like Leffen got first or Mango got first. And they were the only ones who made significant money off of placing in top 8. Everyone else got like not enough money to reasonably sustain any amount of a lifestyle, right? They probably got enough to pay for the event back, right? But nothing on top of that. And They were like, well, you know what we could do to solve this problem is just double the entry fee for the event, right? It's $10 entry, make it 20. That doubles the pot. It's like, yeah, it does, but it also shuts out a lot of people who are like, I could go to this tournament this week, that's $20, or 2 months from now, I could go to this tournament here, that's $10 plus the venue fee that's already, you know, 80, 90 bucks. And now they're losing out on tournament entrance and they're losing out on venue fee because people will just not go. $20 is a lot. Or maybe they'll go, but they'll only enter one game, right? Say you enter Melee and you enter Smash Ultimate. Let's put those two because they're neck and neck. They're both in the Smash community, right? Or I guess, let's say you like Soul Calibur and you like Tekken, right? But you're better at Tekken. You're not going to enter Soul Calibur and Tekken if you know you're significantly better at Tekken, have a higher chance of maybe making into a top 8 or making it into top 16, getting on stream, you know? Like the dream, right? You're just not going to waste your time and your money playing in the Soul Calibur bracket. Which means now there's one less player in the Soul Calibur bracket, and then there's also, and that's exponential, right? So there's gonna be exponential less players in the bracket because they just don't feel a reason to play. Like some people just enter a bunch of games. When I went to Texas Showdown in 2019, I believe it was 2019, the guys that I went with, they entered like a bunch of games and they were like, yeah, we're not gonna do well at all, but we're already here. Let's fucking do it, right? But if they had made that 20 bucks instead of 10, maybe they wouldn't have, right? I could ask them, come back to you guys, but I'm almost certain they're adults. They've got jobs and bills. It seems relatively reasonable that if you double the price of something, less people will enter it. And those are the people who pay the bills who are the top players. You have low player privilege. That shit matters.